an NC State alumnus and Super Bowl winning coach. Currently serves as an analyst with CBS Sports for the network's The NFL Today program. Mr. Cowher, who in 2005 led the Pittsburgh Steelers to their first Super Bowl title in 26 years, was the longest-tenured head coach in the National Football League before stepping down following the 2006 season after 15 years with the Steelers. During those 15 years, Mr. Cowher's Steelers teams earned 10 postseason berths, captured 8 division titles, advanced to 6 American Football Conference championship games, made 2 Super Bowl appearances, and won that Super Bowl title in 2005. Mr. Cowher played 5 years in the NFL as a linebacker and a special teams standout for the Cleveland Browns and the Philadelphia Eagles. At NC State, Bill Cowher was a starting linebacker, team captain, and the team's most valuable player in his senior year. He graduated from NC State with a bachelor's degree in education in 1979. He was named the College of Education's Distinguished Alumnus of the Year in 1998. Bill is married to Kay Cowher, who played for Coach Yao on the Wolfpack women's basketball team. They have 3 daughters, Megan, who graduated from Princeton and was nothing short of a basketball star there, and is currently teaching in New York City with the Teach for America program. Their second daughter, Lauren, is a junior at Princeton, also played on the women's basketball team. And their third daughter, Lindsay, is a junior at Ravenscroft School here in Raleigh. Lindsay will be going to Wofford College and will, can you believe it, be playing basketball there. We wondered what happened last night when we had a dinner in honor of our honorary degree recipients and Mr. Cowher. We wondered if it was football was the guy thing in the Cowher family, and basketball certainly with the women. Mr. Cowher, Coach, Bill, welcome back to NC State. We look forward to your remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Cowher.
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be asked to come back here and to be on this dais, or the stage up here with such distinguished people. Dr. Rabowski, Dr. Wyman, congratulations, well-deserved awards. And to be honest with you, I am in way over my head on this stage. But, you know, it feels like yesterday that I sat where you are today. Well, actually, I was here last week for a hockey game. I actually sat right over there. But you know what I mean. And, you know, they say that college are the best years of your life. And I can honestly say that my senior year was the best 2 years of my life. I didn't want it to end. I enjoyed myself probably a little bit too much. But now, you know, as you enter the real world, it's okay to have anxiety. It's okay to be uncertain about what direction to take. And if you don't feel that way, you're really not in touch with today's economy. It's not good. There's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot more questions than answers. But I urge you to view it as a challenge. Be open-minded. Listen to those before you. Be goal-oriented. And I think at this point you be short-term goal-oriented. And be passionate in your pursuit. I'm talking about your attitude. But the most important thing I say to you is be resilient. Life will throw a lot at you. And just when you think you got it figured out, yeah, you get another challenge. So I say to you, keep it in perspective. And you know, I've always lived by this saying that I adopted with the teams I coached, and I adopted this early in my playing career because I was kind of that guy that always looked at the final cut and just tried to make it year to year. It's never as good as it appears, and it's never as bad as it seems. And if you think about that, it gives you balance. See, I'm big on perspective. And I'll share with you a story that I have that I think would put that in its proper context. In 1994, in my third year of coaching, we played in an AFC Championship game. And we were playing the San Diego Chargers. The Steelers had not been to the Super Bowl in 15 years. So we're playing and we're a heavily favored team. And the bottom line, when you're in the AFC Championship game, you win, you go play in Miami, and you play in the Super Bowl. If you lose, you go to Hawaii and you have to coach the Pro Bowl. Well, it was a good team we had that year. We led the league in rushing. But the bottom line, in this game that we were heavily favored, it came down to one play. We were 4th and 2 at the 2-yard line against the San Diego Chargers. The crowd was just in a frenzy. We had come back. We were down in this game. We had moved about 90 yards. We called timeout. It was the last play of the game. And with this game, we were going to win a championship and get a chance to play in the Super Bowl, or we weren't. And so I wanted to call the play, and I called a pass play. That ball went incomplete, and the crowd was deafening. Complete silence. All you could hear was their sideline, the hooping, the hollering. As I walked off that field and I walked into the locker room, I told the players, there's no words I can give you to tell you how you feel today. You come in tomorrow and we'll talk about it at 10 o'clock. I walked into the assistant coach's room and there was complete silence. And I told them what a great job they did. And it was a heck of a year. And I know they can't see that now, but they will. And ask them to come in at 9 o'clock and we'll talk about the off-season schedule. I walked into my office and Mr. Rooney was standing there. He gave me a pat on the shoulder and said, Coach, great effort. And I said, sorry, Mr. Rooney, I let you down. I went over to my wife and she gave me that little, grabbed my cheeks, gave me a kiss. Didn't know what to say. I said, thanks, hon. And my 2 daughters were there. My youngest one was at home. And Megan, I went over to her, and she looked up at me, and she said, Dad, and I said, yeah, Megs, why didn't you run the ball? We could have got 2 yards. And all of a sudden, Lauren, the other one, was there and said, Megan, you shouldn't say that to Dad right now. He feels bad. And Megan turned back and said, yeah, Lauren, but you said the same thing during the game. And I said, girls, please, not here. Not now. So we got in the car, and we go home. And as we're driving home, there's that reflection that takes place. It was a good year. But there's in that awkward silence about what could have been. As we pull into the garage, I'm thinking I got one more daughter to console. As I pull into the garage, I hear this music, and I'm thinking, oh, they're just trying to divert the subject. And I walk in, and there's our youngest one, Lindsay, who was 5 at the time. She's in a hula skirt dancing around the table and said, Daddy, we get to go to Hawaii. And I said, no, Lindsay. We wanted to go to Florida to play in the Super Bowl. She said, no, Daddy, we've already been to Florida. We've never been to Hawaii. So that's perspective. But, you know, I came to state in 1975 to be able to play major college football and to get a degree. And I left 4.5 years later with memories that I will cherish for a lifetime. I met my wife here. We've been married for over 25 years, and we got 3 healthy and beautiful daughters. In my last fall that I came back here, I was cut by the Philadelphia Eagles. I was able to come back down, finish and get my degree, hence a December graduation. I would not want to speak in the spring. I didn't graduate in the spring. But you know, I played and was fortunate and coached in the National Football League for 27 years. There was three things that I tried to do with every opportunity that I was presented with along the way, and I want to share that with you today. And the first thing was, finish what you start. And you are a reflection of that today as you sit here. You started school 4 years, 4.5, 3.5, however long ago, but you finished, and that's why you're here today, so you understand that concept. The second thing is work harder than the other person. Your work ethic. You know, everybody talks about, watched him and he was a good worker. In my mind, your work ethic is measured by what you do when no one is looking. It will require sacrifice. It will require prioritizing certain things. You have to work harder than the other person. And the third thing that I remember that I always tried to adopt is never be intimidated or deterred by anyone or anything. You can't let the temptation, you can't let the pressure overwhelm or distract you. Follow your dreams. Look at each challenge as not an obstacle, but look at it as an opportunity. You people out there have a chance to make a difference. And don't think that you can't. You have to trust yourself. You have to be genuine. You have to be confident. Whatever you do, be as good as you can at doing it. And have a genuine enthusiasm and share that with people along the way. Because you love to be around people who are joyful, who are enthusiastic, that are confident, that are genuine. When it's all said and done, in my mind, there's two types of hardworking people. There are successful people. Those are people that enjoy what they do and they exude that feeling. And they touch and influence people along the way. Then there's people who achieve success. And I'm talking about people who achieve success based on money, status, title, control. But they probably have sacrificed more than they cherished: their morals and their family. They're lonely people who have it all. You're going to fail. You're going to get knocked down because you know what? You have to take risks along the way. And both these doctors up here will tell you that. And that's why they've got to where they got. But ultimately, you'll be judged by how many times you get back up, not how many times you fail. You'll be measured not by your achievements, but by the people you touch along the way. At the end of the day, I hope each and every one of you are successful people, and I want to leave you with a quote from Winston Churchill. Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. And your journey is never ending. God bless, thank you, and go Pack.